Hey everybody, it's your boy SergDragon, and welcome back to another edition of the Heaven's Monsters podcast. Today we are going to cover January 29th of AEW, All Elite Wrestling. With me today is the Silver Griffin, Xavier Hill.
Once again, MVP is in the ring, so that can only mean one thing. Big things popping, little things stopping. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the view, because the Heaven's Monsters podcast is for people better than you.
With that said, my brother, would you kick us off?
So we're going to start off with this.
John Moxley enters the arena.
Show starts off with John Moxley making his way down to the ring. Moxley wears a patch over his injured eye.
The right eye.
Yep. Moxley says that right around the time he got stabbed in the eye, that he realized the funny games with Jericho are now over. Chris Jericho is the final obstacle in my way that stands between me and the top of the mountain here in AEW, he says. Moxley says that he knows that he has to deal with the inner circle and mentions all the diabolic things that Jericho has done in his career, including stealing Ray's mask and punching a damn woman in the face.
He says he's not a role model of any kind. He's had his issues in the past.
Yep.
He wants to compare himself to Jericho.
Yeah. Moxley says he's done some pretty bad things in his career too, but you have nothing if you don't live by a code. And he says he still has his honor, unlike Jericho. I see a coward and a bully, Moxley says of Jericho. Boy, oh boy, do I hate bullies. Moxley says that the inner circle has a target pointed at his head, but he will look right into the barrel of their gun and he won't flinch as he takes Jericho out and takes the world title from him. Chris, there ain't a damn thing you can do about, Moxley screams. It's not about the kind of man you are. It's about the kind of man you're not. Moxley says he doesn't want to go all the way until Revolution, with eyes in the back of his head waiting on an attack, so Jericho should come out and take his ass whooping now. Jericho walks onto the stage as a few fans sing his theme like last week, but nothing even close, as he mostly gets booed. Jericho says it makes him laugh to hear Moxley talk about things that he's earned. What you earned was a spike to the eye, Jericho says. That's what you deserve because all you had to do was say yes to my offer. Now you look like a jacked up version of Captain Jack Sparrow. Jericho says he saw Moxley's mom backstage and she said was especially fetching and suggests he'll give her a call later. He says that he apologized to Moxley's mom for what they had to do with him and that it was Moxley's fault that he was put into that position. Jericho asks if Moxley really thinks he has what it takes to beat him. You don't even have what it takes to blink with boy eyes, Jericho jokes.
Both eyes.
Both eyes. Jericho tells the fans and Moxley to go to hell because Cleveland doesn't deserve to see Le Champion in a match tonight. He says he doesn't go anywhere without his boys either and calls the inner circle out. PNP, Sammy Guevara, and Jake Hager walk onto the stage and join Jericho. Oh, I definitely saw this shit. Definitely. Moxley says that Jericho thinks that Jericho it's a 5-on-1, but the way he sees it, it's him and the entire arena on the 5 of them because he's in his hometown. Jericho says that he knew Moxley would be this stupid, so they brought in some South Bronx street thugs, courtesy of PNP, and 5 guys walk up the ramp behind Inner Circle.
Proud and powerful.
Yep.
Of Santana and Ortiz.
Yep. Moxley attacks Ortiz and hits the Barra hits
Where are you at?
the Barradigim shift on the ramp, but the entire group jumps on Moxley and starts kicking the hell out of him until security runs down to pull him away. Moxley keeps trying to get back to them before finally hitting a DDT on a security guard and escaping through the crowd.
Yeah, Paragon Shift, I think. Yeah.
Paragon.
This is weird.
Yep.
So next up, we have the first match of the night. We have the Young Bucks one-on-one with the Butcher and the Blade. Ultimately hired by MJF and Warlord on commentary as well to watch their handiwork and their money being used. Sadly though for MJF, no crying shame, would be the fact that the Young Bucks got the drop on them, and it would look like in the promo that it wasn't just the Butcher and the Blade, but also the Dark Order involved in this sketchy deal. Whatever's going on, there's a lot of factions and people handing out promises and deals. Whether they keep up to it and pay it up, that's yet to be unsaid. But sadly, because of the fact the Young Bucks won, MJF is telling the Butcher and the Blade to, what do I pay you for? And then they go and jump them instead. And then also with Wardlow and MJF getting in on that mix, it's 4 against 2. Thankfully, we would have both Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page, the tag team champions of AEW, coming into the rescue, and he says, hold my beer. And he comes and kicks his ass. He kicks either the Butcher or the Blade's ass. And he goes and takes his drink, and he goes, to you. Okay, Butcher Blake, Butcher next on top rope, blah, 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 Nick, blah, 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 Matt's death, for the flying elbow, blah, blah, blah. Bucks, 1, 2, 3. Damn, this is a lot of commentary results here. The winners, Young Bucks, blah, 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 blah. Here we go, the next up. Ooh, you gotta take this one, bro. It's the Team Money's nightmare.
The Native Beast, Nyla Rose versus Big Swole. Swole gets a series of near falls on Rose early, but then eats a big clothesline. Rose hits the ropes, but runs into a leg. Lariat from Swole, knocking Rose to the floor. Swole goes for a punt kick off the apron, but Rose sweeps her leg, slamming her to the mat. Rose slams Swole into the guardrail and then into the ring post. Big Swole catches Rose in a hanging guillotine, but Rose breaks it only to eat a super kick. Swole hits a leaping cutter for a near fall. Swole hits a flatliner, but Rose avoids a spinning forearm and hits a clothesline. Rose hits a beast bomb for the pin. Yep, it says
The winner
is Nyla Rose.
For those who don't know who Big Swole is, despite her name, she's not that big. She's about as big as our friend, well, if you want to get compared by women, she's as big as AJ Lee, CM Punk's girlfriend. But, funny thing, for those who don't know, Big Swole is actually, I'm trying to say, Joshua Alexander's girlfriend, wife, and mother of his child. So next up, we have Super Baz Kip Saban. Kip. Thank you. With his girlfriend,
Penelope.
That's how you pronounce it.
Yep.
Penelope Ford versus the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. And we got a code score here. We got 2 over 1 win, so that's 3 matches for Kip Saban, and 2 over zero losses is Cody Rhodes. With Arn Anderson, one of the four horsemen, in his corner coaching him.
Yep.
Okay, so this is interesting. In this match, you would have that woman, Penelope, just interfere so many times that Arn Anderson is trying to tell the referee what's going on, but it gets too heated until Arn Anderson makes the big mistake touching the referee, and he is thrown out of the match. He's telling him, go back go back there.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said, I think Mr. Arn Anderson is being asked to return to his locker room. I said, looks like Arn Anderson got his second technical foul, and he's going to the showers.
Yep, I'm looking for that one part. What was his name? Okay. Janela. Bad boy Janela pops up while these two are actually trying to kiss each other. He pops up and goes, yay! And they're like, what the hell? He's like, ah. He doesn't interfere in the match that ends in disqualification, but he does give the freaking psychological part where he messes with their heads and knowing that they're not done with each other yet. Excuse me, in which case, Cody Rhodes gets the drop on him without him realizing and hits him not once, but twice with crossroads to get the win. And, man, he is not happy, and the guy is right there. Janela's out there going, I'm bad. I got you. So that's how you feel about that, bro.
Man, I'm glad Cody Rhodes is still undefeated in AEW.
Oh, man, not the one who just turned heel, Britt Baker. Yeah, look at this, bro.
Britt Baker.
I gotta get the glasses on. Here we go. This is a bad trash talking. She's gonna talk about bad. Oh.
Footage of Britt Baker's heel antics last week. Oh, yeah, I've seen this. Last week are showing. Baker comes onto the stage with former WCW commentator Tony Schiavone for another interview. Baker continues to mock Tony by calling him Mr. Starbucks, and she turns her attention to good old JR Jim Ross for cutting to a commercial during her promo last week.
Mm-hmm.
Baker insults Ross, calling him judgmental and smug, saying that he collects a large paycheck while everyone else does all the work. Being the legend I grew up, not a sloppy barbecue salesman that can't get our roster's names right, she says. Baker insults Rio for never actually being on the show and diagnoses Tony with...
Oh, no, not Tony. Tell, what is it? What was it called? Oh, yeah. Hold up. Where is it? Where are you at? Gingivitis.
Pick up a damn toothbrush, she says. Cleveland, congratulations. You finally have a Baker you can trust in.
That's wrong of her.
Backstage, the Bucks said that they are on a quest to get their way to the tag titles as Omega smiles and then Paige walks up and shows them the nameplate on their titles. Nameplates. Paige hands the Bucks nameplates and said maybe they'll need those one day. Omega says that he got a match pitting the Bucks, Omega, and Paige against Butcher, Blade, and a team of their choosing next week.
And I'm trying to remember who they picked. I think they picked the Butcher and the Blade, and the other one was the Lucha Brothers. I could be wrong, because I know for a fact that we had an interesting match later on. Next up, we have SCU, the Tag Team Champions. Wait, whoa. Oh, nope. It's a singles match. Christopher Daniels versus Hybrid 2. Like, what the hell? Who's Hybrid 2? Like, what the heck is going on? SCU for the... Oh, yeah, now I know who Hybrid 2 is. Those two guys whose names I cannot get because of the fact they were Lucha Underground. Remember them?
Yep.
The neon guys. One is one green, one yellow. Yeah, they got the skeleton gimmicks. In which case, SCU for the win. Ultimately, afterwards, we would have the Dark Order appear on screen in the arena and says that... Wait, what? Excellent one. Excellent. I think it's saying excellent. The ED at the end. Is unhappy with Daniels and has told them to target his friends and family for this great disrespect for declining them on joining the Dark Order. And Vendetta featuring a pissed off Pac. Oh yeah, this is a different promo now. It's like black and white. I like it. It's like a horror film. Like Pac is definitely getting there. And he's saying that once the Inner Circle is done with Moxley, he will be waiting to pluck his other eyeball right out of its socket. It's not written there, but I know he said that because that's just the only good eye John Moxley, formerly known as Dean Ambrose, has left. Yep. Pac turns his attention to Omega and says that he can't stand Kenny's ignorance and... Sorry. It's not ignorance, this is the word arrogance and ego for pretty much saying that he would just fit Pac into his schedule. He's pretty busy. He's got a lot of things going on. Mm-hmm. That doesn't work for him, lad. Or it doesn't work for me, lad, he says. Pac says that he will definitely do anything in his timetable starting next week. I'm coming for blood, he states. You get the main event again, my brother.
The main event.
Here you go.
We have the Private Party and Darby Allin versus the Inner Circle.
And they tipped the freaking bouncer very well, even though he's just there on the stage.
Versus the Inner Circle. Chris Jericho with Jake Hager and Sammy Guevara.
From Houston, Texas.
Yep. Jericho and Allin will start the match off against one another, and Jericho slaps him repeatedly. Allin hits a series of forearms and then a drop kick that sends Jericho reeling early. Allin hits a beautiful springboard lucha arm drag, and Jericho quickly retreats to his corner to tag in Ortiz. Caddacy tags in and leaps over a charging Ortiz only to get a poke to the eyes. Ortiz hits a European uppercut, but Cassidy counters a whip into a spinning Enziguri. Quinn tags in and Private Party hits a atomic drop / drop kick combo, followed by a leapfrog stomp for a near fall.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's midnight. Go ahead.
Quinn hits a drop kick, but Ortiz comes back with a kick to the head, followed by a missile drop kick off the middle rope. Santana tags in and hits a scoop slam on Quinn and hits a series of knees before tagging Jericho to a chorus of boos. Boo! The heels isolate Quinn in the corner and take turns tagging in and out and beating on him. LAX attempts a double team move, but Quinn hits a Rana on Santana and tags Cassidy.
They messed up. It said LAX.
LAX.
It's PNP. Proud and powerful.
Yeah.
I get the mix up though.
Caddacy rolls Ortiz up for a near fall and then a satellite arm drag, rolled up in a crucifix for a near fall. Cassidy catches Ortiz with a victory roll for another near fall, but Ortiz tags Jericho and he hits a springboard dropkick as Cassidy was going to attempt a dive onto. They said it is LAX. It's PNP.
Proud and powerful.
Proud and powerful on the floor.
Santina and Ortiz. Just say that then.
Yep. Cassidy counters a clothesline attempt from Jericho into a roll-up, but Jericho kicks out and clotheslines him for a near fall of his own. Santana tags back into the match and taunts the babyfaces as he chokes Cassidy. Santana hits a backbreaker and puts him into a modified bow and arrow before getting a near fall. Santana hits a scoop slam and tags Ortiz. PNP hits an assisted somersault senton, followed by a lionsault from Jericho and a diving headbutt from Ortiz for a near fall. Ortiz tags Santana, then Santana goes to dive off Ortiz's back, but Cassidy beats him to the punch and hits a diving Rana on Santana off Ortiz's back. Allen makes a hot tag and hits a sliced bread on Ortiz, followed by a tope suicida on Jericho on the floor.
Suicide dive, basically.
Yeah. In the ring, Allen hits a code red for a near fall on Santana. Allen gets another near fall, but Jericho breaks it up. Quinn hits a peel on Jericho and then walks into a suplex from Ortiz. Cassidy hits a slingshot crucifix bomb on Ortiz, and Santana hits a rolling cutter on Cassidy. Allen hits a springboard moonsault on Jericho as Jericho blind tags in.
Yeah.
Darby gets a near fall and then knocks Hager off the apron before hitting a coffin drop on the MMA fighter.
Whee! Just falls backward like this.
Quinn hits a Fosbury flop on PNP on the outside, and Cassidy hits a swanton bomb for a near fall on Jericho. Cassidy has blind tagged Allen as he went to the top. After Cassidy argues with the referee, he turns around right into the Judas effect for the pin.
Bam!
The Inner Circle defeats Judas effect by pinfall. The Inner Circle continues to beat on the babyfaces after the match. Jericho whips them all with the title belt. Hager low blows Allen, and then Guevara hits him with his own skateboard. Guevara drapes Allen's throat across the mat and skateboard and slams it into the mat. Ow. Then John Moxley runs out with a baseball bat and takes out Hager first. He lays out Santana and Guevara as the rest scrambled. And that's how this edition of AEW came to an end.
That's a lot to take in, huh?
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead and do the shout out to my brother.
All right, before we wrap this up, shout out to all the members of the Heaven's Monsters podcast. Myself, Xavier Hill, Mike Henry, and Andre Mitchell. A link to our 3 YouTube pages will be in the descriptions down below, as always. Remaining shout outs to T-Money, Renee, Pharaoh, Chris Petrie, and Delvin.
With that said, ladies and gentlemen, if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. You didn't, give it a thumbs down. Hit the subscribe button right there. If you like the content, hit that notification bell for the next
Heaven's Monsters podcast.
I'm SergDragon. This is Xavier Hill. We'll see you next time.
Peace.
Hasta la vista.